Good morning and welcome to another exciting edition of Day 4 with the man Frank Scalish. We have reached show 249.
Can you believe it?
Yeah, because I'd like to think that we put out a quality product that is appreciated by viewers, listeners, and sponsors alike, Frank.
I agree with you.
And we genuinely enjoy doing it, and it's easier to continue something that you're both knowledgeable and passionate about that you don't just do for the paycheck.
No, I think that we are one of the better teams on air. To be
now,
honest.
without a paycheck, would we do it with such
vigor
and regularity? Perhaps not.
Maybe
but we show up every week.
But we come to play. We come to play.
And we have a really good show today. We have a crazy on the water story by Frank that has to do with both life and on the water fishing decisions.
Absolutely.
We have an Instagram account that everybody needs to follow. We have a word of caution during this heat wave. We have a bunch of new baits from ICAST that LureNet just dropped that we will spend a lot more time in the future going over, but we will kind of show everybody now. And then we have a big announcement for the 250th show and a new partner that we're bringing into Day 4 that particularly, like, if you own any sort of trailer, whether you are mowing lawns or carrying things or towing a boat that you maybe need into your life.
Yeah, and we'll go into that in detail because I'm amazed. And I've been using it now. I've got almost 1,000 miles on it already. And
sweet.
It is. We'll get into it because it's detailed.
Okay.
But this show is crazy today, Matt. I don't even know where to start. We have so much.
I've got one where to start. So you know how you talked about the heat wave last week that you were experiencing in
Ohio.
Yeah. Yes, it is another pitch, Northeast bass fishing. You smelled it out, but it's a valid pitch. So.
Yeah,
you can listen to it and not act on it, or you can listen to it and act on it, and that's just how the world works.
That's how it works. There's a yin and a yang.
Yesterday or last week, you talked about how hot it was in Ohio, and I am not a huge energy drink guy. Like you'll notice, I most likely I have my Black Rifle coffee and a Buc-ee's and a water today, but Court, when she leaves on her trips, enjoys a small Red Bull from time to time. So I went and got her a bunch of Red Bulls the other day because she's headed out on a trip. And I'm going to get hardcore judged. It just occurred to me. I picked up a Cotton Candy Rise Fuel Energy 16 ounce beverage because every now and then I like to drink an energy drink that's targeted towards sorority girls.
Outstanding.
So I went to get it this morning. And it's been hot here. It was like 102.
Oh, it's brutal.
And I had it in the front seat.
Oh, did it explode?
Well, I had it in the front seat in the cup holder. And I know it's there because yesterday I had to move the truck out off of the cement because I also discovered the joys of power washing.
Yes.
And so I was power washing the cement. We're redoing the whole front of the house, yada, yada, yada. And I go out there this morning. I know no one's been in my truck, and it's gone. It's like not in the cup holder. And I'm like, where in the hell did this thing go? And I'm freaking out a little. And I also noticed there's like a little bit of sticky substance on my leather, which is not good. So I end up finding this thing in the back, my truck, the back seat of my truck has like on the driver's side behind it, it's got like that little passenger's thing just inside the door where you can put it. I find the can. There it is right there. The can is no longer in a can shape and it completely exploded.
Oh my gosh, dude.
16 ounces of Rise Cotton Candy Zero Sugar energy drink
all over the
uniformly interior. Rocket spewed around the interior of my truck.
Oh my God. You have a cleaning nightmare ahead of you. Yeah.
Look, I can toss it in the studio because there is not a drop of liquid left in there.
Let me ask you a question. Does your truck smell like cotton candy?
So here's the weird thing. It's not that sticky. A lot, and I'll tell you what, that is a sentence that I never thought we would hear on day 4.
Yeah.
But if you get eye level at anything, you'll notice the little water spot and it's sugar free, but whatever else that is that
is in there
shortens your life.
Yeah, by a lot.
But gives you immediate energy. It's not that sticky, which is why there's no sugar, but yes, it does. It will require a thorough and deep cleaning.
Yeah, you're gonna have to.
I have one more thing that is along this line. So every once in a while, you realize there are some joys of social media, and this one has kind of hit close to home for you because it's a Midwest, right? Mid, whatever, Northeast. What do you consider yourself? Is Ohio considered part of the Midwest?
I think it's
not in the West.
I think
it's like Illinois is considered the Midwest, even though it's middle. So this guy is in like Indiana, Ohio, and Kentucky. His Instagram handle is, I'd screenshot it because you'll enjoy this. His Instagram handle is mullet, MULLET _review. And this is what he looks like. So for the past month and a half, this guy has been going to sketchy buffets and strip malls all across Indiana and Ohio, like China buffet, like the ones that you see that you're like
that you would never pull in.
And he's going to one a day until he gets food poisoning.
Oh, for God's sake.
Goes up to the buffet and documents the clams, the pizza, the chicken fingers.
My God, dude.
All of it. He's on day like 39 every single day.
Oh my gosh, dude.
So if you're looking for something that just takes,
2
whatever
seconds.
you do in the morning when you get up, if you happen to sit somewhere for an extended period of time and take care of some business, mullet _review on Instagram. It's a great 2.5 minute watch.
Oh my God, I would be horrified, dude. I wouldn't eat half the crap he's putting in his body right now.
Well, that's
why he's doing it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny. I wonder how long it's going to take him before he gets wiped out.
Dude, every day he comes out with a new one, and his big thing is he eats the crab rangoons at every single one, and then he looks at the camera and he goes, "Oh yeah." Big pizza guy. And then he goes, "This buffet costs $37.24." And then just zooms in on his face like that, and he goes, "For 2 people." If you're looking for entertainment in between your daily dose of day 4 with BTO.
Oh, that is
Frank
so
Scalish.
funny. This poor guy, man. I don't want to see when he actually gets.
Now mine are light and friendly, but before the show started, you started to tell it. I kind of cut you off, but you not only caught bass this past week, you also potentially saved a life on the water.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So, yeah, it was. So I picked a lake out to fish, and I was talking to a friend of mine who fishes a ton here. And I told him where I was going to go, and he said, "You're a glutton for punishment." And so I said, "Well, I need a challenge." And this is becoming a huge challenge because the lake has been sandblasted for like a year and a half, like relentlessly. And cotton candy air freshener, like an ice cream shop.
Listen, I am not afraid to admit, I am a happily married man. I love the skin moisturizers that smell like you've been at the beach all day, like a good coconut lime.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Court waxes my eyebrows. I I don't give a damn. I enjoy it. I'm 41 years old now.
You
I'm
might
taking
as
care of
well.
myself. Okay, back to the story.
Yeah. So anyhow, so I get out there, and I don't know. I'm going to intermix. I'm going to intermix the drama with the fishing because
I love it.
that's how it took place. So and then after we're done with this, we got to go over these ICAST products because they're good. But and I'm partial because I painted them. But anyhow,
Or if you listen to our listeners, it's because LureNet sponsors the show and we're contractually
yeah,
obligated to.
there is that. there is that. So anyhow.
Are you aware that we have a discount code, Frank?
Yeah, I think
If you
so.
spend your hard-earned money.
Oh my gosh almighty.
We're saying this because there is a no strings attached $250 giveaway next week coming that we'll announce at the end of the show.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
But in the meantime, it is capital BTL25 for 15% off regularly priced items at lurenet.com. Okay, back to the story.
Okay, so back to the ranch. So I choose this lake. I choose the lake because it's not fishing like it used to. There's a lot of problems with it, and I thought it would be the ultimate challenge. So I talked to my buddy John, and he started laughing at me, and dude, you're a glutton for punishment.
Mm-hmm.
So I go out there, and I God, I hate to even admit this. I go out there and I overslept. When I overslept, I set my alarm clock, but I didn't set the clock. Yeah, I changed the time to get up super, super early.
Gotcha. So it's not like you slept through the alarm clock.
Correct.
The alarm clock never went off, which is every fisherman's nightmare, which is why all of our wives, girlfriends, significant others hate us because we set 19 alarms 2 minutes apart so that it's impossible to do that.
Correct. So I changed the clock. I set it early because I wanted to get up and out. But my wife and we partied hardy a little bit the night prior, and I didn't get to bed until well after midnight, and I was getting up at 5. And so I was literally going to have, 4 hours of sleep. So I never set the alarm. I changed the time, never set the alarm, and then I wake up at 6:30, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm doomed because now I got rush hour in Cleveland, Akron. I got rush hour through a couple of cities, and I am absolutely I'm not going to get on the water till 11. So anyhow, the long and short of it is I get on the water, and it's like 10:15. And there was like it was like a mirage out when I launched the boat. It was literally flat, slick.
Good thing we just talked about that.
Right. So, and overcast. So I'm very excited because overcast skies, bass could see better. They're chasing. It's going to be great. So I launch my boat, and literally it's like a tournament blast off. There's like 5 of us racing down the lake.
Bass boats.
And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And there's like 20 boats that I could see already out.
Fishing boats.
And I'm like, oh my God, no wonder John told me I was out of my mind. So I go to my first spot, which is, of course it's offshore, guys, because it's summer. So I'm offshore. There is a shallow bite going on because the lake is surrounded by shallow vegetation, lily pads, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, I'm sure you could go with a frog and catch some fish. I'm sure of it. But I'm ignoring that because I am offshore. So I go to my first spot, and this lake has grass in it. And I get out to the first spot I'm going to. I set up so I can make the right cast because I am literally, this spot's going to tell me everything I need to know for the rest of the day. I put the trolling motor down. I'm in stealth mode. Now listen to this. Listen to this crap, because this is ludicrous. I have 2 crankbaits out, a DD22, a fat-free 7. I've got a half-ounce jig. I got a half-ounce slip sinker rig with a money craw on, so I can get to the deep roots of the grass if I have to. And I can go shallow and quasi punch with it if I have to.
Quasi punch.
Yeah, meaning if the grass isn't super tight,
kind of like a finesse punching setup.
Yeah, if the grass isn't super tight, I could punch with the half. But I got the 3/4 ounce rigged and ready to go, but it's in the rod locker. I have the 5-inch Yum Dinger on the Ned head because it's gold on these grass lakes. And I've got 4 minnow rods out because they have a propensity to float outside the edge of the grass here. I feel confident. Like, I feel confident. I set the trolling motor in the water, slowly gliding up to the area, hit spot lock. I take a deep breath. I turn around. There's a bass boat right behind me. And he trolling motors right around me, right in front of me. Like, right in front of me, where I can't make a cast. I'm about to come apart because I just got there. I take another deep breath. I grab my camera and I go click, click, just because I want to show people what not to do. Click, click. He then proceeds to trolling motor across what I'm fishing all the way to the bank to fish the bank. So I'm like, you couldn't have went behind me to do it. You had to go right in front of me. So I'm like, yeah, exactly. 100%. So I'm like, okay, I'm good with it. I'm good with it. I'm turning over a new leaf. Okay. Nothing is going to disturb me anymore. All right. So I'm good with it. He's gone. I'm fishing. I throw the jig out there, working it down the rock, scanning with live scope. There ain't a blade of grass down there. I'm like, uh-oh. So I said, all right, I'm going to start out at the end and I'm going to work my way all the way up to where it gets super shallow, because there is grass where it's super shallow.
Like a show, like one of the shows that we
Right.
did where you start out, where you're working your way in, instead of just going up shallow to check to see if they're there, you're now saying, okay, I'm not going to miss where they are. So you're systematically eliminating water productively.
Right. Very productively. So I'm alternating between baits. Every now and then I'm seeing a fish float. I pick up the minnow, I fire at one of them, and it runs away. I'm like, maybe it was a gizzard shad. Maybe. Could be. They got 14-inch gizzard shad in the place. Maybe. I get to where I could start seeing grass on my live scope. Pick up the DD22. I rifle it out there, and I'm feathering it down that grass edge. Nothing. Throw it again. Nothing. Pick up the fat free. Different action, different color. Throw it out there. Nothing, nothing, nothing. I'm like, okay, Ned Dinger time, because it never fails. Nothing. So now I start working my way even shallower. So now I pick up my money craw on the slip sinker rig, and I start dunking it in the grass. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Then I'm looking and I'm like, this is a weird grass that I don't really know what it is. And every time I encounter it, I never catch a bass. There's no coontail. I'm like, okay, I'm out of here. I got to go to a different spot.
Did you pull any up? Do you know what type of grass it was?
I don't know what it is. I should have taken a picture of it.
Yeah, next time take a picture of it.
Then I will.
I wonder if it's some sort of grass that like chokes out the oxygen or something when it gets hot, or puts something out.
It's real stringy.
Slimy?
No, it's not slimy. It's just real stringy and thin and
green,
but it won't come off your hooks. You can't get a lure through it. It's gross. It's disgusting.
Huh.
I've encountered it before
Okay.
on different lakes too, and I never catch bass out of it.
Interesting.
So, so the first stop I made, I started out in 18 feet and fished all the way up to 4. Never caught a bass. So I went to a ridge that's super steep and deep, flat on top, shallow flat on top, super steep and deep, and it's got some good inside turns on it and some good rock and rubble. So I go there next. Okay, zoom in on the middle bottom one. Middle, yeah, that's it.
Chuck fish. Knew it right off the hopper.
Good get, Matt.
Sago pondweed.
That's just
Chuck
that.
Smith.
Yeah, I don't get it. Anyhow, that's it. So, and anyhow, yeah. What's the name of that? I got to write it down.
SAGO. Sago pondweed. I literally just typed it in. Look at all of it. That's it.
Okay. All right. So I go to the steep and deep stuff and I get my heavy jig out and I'm working down the breaks and I'm not catching nothing. And then I start snagging some more of that sago crap up. I'm like, oh boy. So I go to my 3rd spot, my 4th spot, my 5th spot. It ain't working out. Every fish I see floating that I throw something at, it runs away. So I go to a place where I know the coontail grows. I know it grows there. It's never failed me. So I go all the way down the lake. I go to this spot and I start on the sweetest part of this. It's an underwater ledge, but it's got a high spot on it. And on the inside of it, it's got a gut. And the gut runs all the way down the lake. And on the outside of it, it's got like a river channel that runs all the way down the lake and then hooks to the other side. It's, for all intents and purposes, in my opinion, it's probably one of the best places on the lake. And I start out there and I'm on the sweetest part of it. And there ain't a blade of freaking grass on it. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So I crank, I jig, I Ned, I do everything, and I am not catching crap. And I see a bass, what I think is a bass. I fire another minnow at it. Off it goes. I'm like, what? And so I go, I have to work down this ridge. And now the wind is honking, dude. The wind went from 0 to whatever in a minute, and it is ripping. So I spot locking and I get on the backside of this thing because I can't fish the front of it properly at the angle I was at. So I get on the backside, I spot lock, and I start casting out, and I see grass with the spot lock, and I snag some of it on purpose with the crankbait, and it's coontail. It's tiny, short coontail, but it's coontail. So now I'm getting a little excited because now I know things are about to go down. In the distance, I see 2 people on a paddleboard. Can't make out if they're women, men, kids. I just see 2 people standing up on paddleboards. Well, actually, one was kneeling, the other was standing, and they're coming straight to me like there's a rope tied to the boat. And I'm like, okay, well, they're going to come right over this, but they're on paddleboard, so it won't matter. I catch one. I'm like, oh, yes, here we go. And I caught it on the jig. I'm like, perfect.
Jig or minnow?
The jig.
Okay.
My half-ounce jig.
Gotcha.
I caught it on the jig, and I'm like, perfect. So I get it in. I unhook it, let it go. I cast out again. Now I'm spot locked, and I'm on the part of the break where I'm actually in the ditch. I'm like in the ditch, but the ditch is 17 feet deep. Casting up, bringing it down.
Just like we talked about 3 shows ago.
Right, because the grass, the deeper grass was immature, and the grass as it got on top was fluffy and thick.
Yeah.
So I get a bump and I miss it. And I'm like, crap. So I pick up my DD22 and I go, I'm going to throw it all the way out where the grass is tiny and see what I can get out there. Bam, I got another one. And I'm like, yeah, all right, we're good. We're good. I'm starting to figure stuff out. I look up and these paddle boarders are on top of me. They're like literally 10 feet from me, like on the high spot. And the one lady was in a red bathing suit and the other one was in a like a chartreuse green bikini. And so I'm like, okay, I'm not mad. Okay, I'm not angry. And I wave and they wave and they're talking just normal talking and I can hear every word they're saying because they are lit. I can't even cast. Like if I did a short underhand pitch, I would hit them.
Mm-hmm.
So they're paddling around. They're going. The wind's blowing like 100. They're flying. So 2 seconds, they're gone. I start fishing again, and I spot like 6 or 7 white blobs in about 11 feet of water, and they keep going in the grass and coming out of the grass, going in, coming out,
I
going in.
like it.
I fire the jig out there, the heavy jig. Whack! I got another one. I'm like, okay, all right. I know the depth range. I got to concentrate now. I'm starting to really zero in. I I, I stop catching them. I throw that dinger up there, not catching them. The dinger is bulletproof, not catching them. Pick up the slip sinker rig, not catching them. Throw the jig, not catching them. Crank, not catching them. I'm like, what the hell? And I keep scanning because I'm looking to see maybe they moved way down and I don't. And
But obviously, what you're thinking is they're using the grass edge as an ambush. There's bluegill.
Yes.
There's either crayfish in it. There's shad. There's something. So what you're seeing is them using that ambush, coming out and eating it.
Yes.
So therefore, anything that comes down, it should be a pretty much get it into the strike zone, and you're getting bit.
I'm
So
getting.
now you're trying to figure out, why am I not getting bit on these fish that are actively feeding that are bass because you caught one of them?
Okay. Correct. I caught
We're on the same page.
Yeah, I caught a few. So now I'm like it's really hard to scope because they're to my right. The wind's blowing straight out of the north, so the boat has to be facing into the wind because I can't turn it sideways because I'm blowing too far. And so real quick, I do another scanarooski and I see them. I grab the minnow. I fire the minnow out there. I'm doing this and I'm staying with them, letting the boat drift, but I'm staying with them on the trolling motor. Dude, they're all doing it. You know what I mean? Yeah, they're all doing it. And that minnow's coming over them and they all go and disappear. I'm like, what? So I get behind them so I could face them into the wind. And I'm scanning. And they moved like almost back where I started into the grass. So I scoot over there. I see them all doing their thing. I fire a different minnow out there. They go. I'm like, are you shitting me? So I grab a paddle tail. I said, okay, I'm going to swim the paddle tail nice and easy, like a big swim bait, because it's a pretty good size one, and they're going to crack it. And I throw that paddle tail out there and I'm doing it, man. And I'm watching those fish and they're all down there. And one of them starts to go and I go, yeah, this is the one. And then it goes and disappears. I hit spot lock and I sit down in the boat and I'm like, what's going on? This lake must have got the crap blasted out of it for a year and a half. It's a very scopable lake. They've probably seen every minnow made. So I'm sitting down in the boat and I go, oh my God, I got an idea. I have these Bomber 24As that I make semi-suspend and I fish them in the winter. And I said, I'll bet you they'll crush this thing because they have never seen it before, except if I'm there throwing it. So I put it on. I have a custom painted one that I painted. I won't say specifically for that lake, but it really works on that lake. I put that thing on and I fire a cast out there, and I start out with my usual cadence. Brr, doink, doink, brr, doink, doink. Nothing. So I throw it out. Now I start working it like I'm like a madman. Whack, 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 whack. All of a sudden, and I got one. And I'm like, oh, yeah, now it's game time now. And so I let that fish go. Boom, I catch another one. I let it go. Boom, I catch a 3-pound walleye. Throw it in the live well. Boom, I catch another one. And I'm like, they want this crazy action because they're sick and tired of seeing stuff just going like that.
Wait, you said you're throwing the Bomber 24A?
Yes, Bomber 24A.
Okay, so this is like a walleye bait.
It is a walleye bait. It 100%
is that it?
Bait. That's it.
But so, it's in a more of a bassy.
Yes, it's a color that it's actually a color that
Have we really talked about this much on the show?
Probably not. It's something that I keep under my lid for a while.
It's like a crankbait / jerkbait.
Yeah, so the thing will get down on 12-pound fluoro. I can get it down 11 or 12 feet, and I add weight to it. Those are my colors, by the way. I add weight.
These are your walleye colors.
Yeah, those are my walleye colors.
Okay.
So
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your story.
That's okay.
I was seeing 24A, and I was like, wait a second, that I think is a walleye bait, and then I looked it up.
It 100% is a walleye bait, which I made for Lake Erie for the smallmouth 3 decades ago. And I've been bass fishing with it ever since because it works so good. So anyway, so I let them. I have some that truly suspend and some that almost suspend. And I chose the one that almost suspended, so when I hit the grass, I could stop it.
So this is like the type of stuff you were doing when you were on Zona's show with the jerk baits out with the smallmouth, those baits that weren't back before everything you had.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. So we're talking decades old. Like where you're in the bag of tricks. So
yeah, I am in the bag of tricks. And so I start catching them. And I'm excited. So I make a lure change. I make a trailer change on my jig. I go to a full-size money craw as a jig trailer. And I throw the jig up there and I start cracking them on the jig. And I'm like, yeah, man. So I go down this ridge line and I turn around because the wind's honking. So I turn behind me and I see the 2 kayak girls.
Paddle boarders.
Way down the lake. Like way down the lake. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. You know what I mean? Whatever. I go back on my deal and I catch some more. And now I gotta go. Now I know exactly what I'm looking for. So now I am dialed. So I go all the way down the lake to another spot. And it's the same stuff. And everything is there. And I throw the jig out there. Whack, I get another one. I'm like, yeah. Whack, I get another one. I'm like, oh man, this day's gonna be phenomenal. All right. Now keep in mind, I got to the first place at like 10:15. And we're talking a couple hours have gone by, but now I got it locked. So I fished 2 more spots. They're not right. They don't have the right grass. They're just not right. And I can just see it. So I don't waste any time there. Now the wind's really going. I decide I'm going back to that milfoil edge that coontail edge that I was fishing earlier because I don't think I fished it effectively. So I go back to it and I'm fishing it, and I'm not catching them now. And so maybe I just messed it up. But it was a while. It was a half hour or so since I left it. So maybe they're not settled down yet. I don't know. So I'm out there doing my thing. The dude that ran over my first spot decides he's going to come off the bank and he's going to run over my second spot too. So he comes over and he drives right over it. I mean, right over top of it. And I'm like, whatever. And then there's a couple more high spots more in the middle of the lake from that one. So that's going to be my next go-to. Well, here comes the lady in red on her paddleboard, and she's trying to hoof it across the lake. All right, she's really like she's working to get across the lake. So I'm like, where the hell is her friend? How do you leave your friend behind? I turn around and the girl in the green is still way down the lake. Whatever, maybe she lives down there and she's just going to pull the paddleboard out and go to her house. What do I know? I fish through that spot, don't catch them. I go to one of the other offshore humps, and it's got the right grass, it's got the right depth, it's got the right transition, and I start wailing on them. Like wailing on them. So I am like, oh my gosh, this is great. And so now I decide I was going to get off the lake early and beat all the rush hour home, but I'm not leaving now because now I got a half a dozen more places that I'm going to catch them on, and I am not leaving. So it's getting later. Most everybody's off the lake now. I turn around behind me and I see way down the lake on the bank, the paddleboarder. And I'm like, oh, that's so cool. She's fishing. And because I saw her like pulling up an anchor and then moving 30 yards and then dropping the anchor down again. So I'm like, that is so cool. She's fishing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't pay no more attention. I go to the other hump. I start cracking them again. I turn around and I don't see the paddleboarder anymore. And I'm like, well, she probably pulled it out. She probably lives there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
She probably whatever. So I'm fishing and I'm getting ready to call it a day. And I just happen to look not behind me, but almost even with me, and I spot the paddleboarder again. And I see her going like this.
Universal distress signal for those listening on iTunes.
Right. So I'm looking, and then I hear because it's so windy you can hardly hear. I hear help, help. You know what I mean? So I'm like, oh man. Boom, I go run over to her, and I get up to her and I go, you okay? I thought she was fishing and got a hook stuck in her or something.
Mm-hmm.
I go, you okay? She goes, no. And I'm like, what's wrong? I'm exhausted. I can't, every time I try to get back, the wind blows me back and I can't go forward. I just go backwards.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm thinking in my head, holy crap, this girl has been doing this for 4 hours. For 4 hours. She wasn't in the back section of the lake because she wanted to be there.
She was panicked trying to get out and couldn't.
So I said, here's what we're going to do. Come over here. Give me
But her friend just bailed on her?
Yeah, her friend had to go and left. And so I grabbed her paddle and I put her sideways on the side of my boat. And I said, you could get in the boat and we could throw the paddleboard in the boat. Or you could just hold on to the handle and I'll trolling motor us back to the ramp. We're only about 3/4 of a mile from the ramp. You know what I mean? So she goes, I'll hold on. And I said, you need water? She goes, oh my God, yeah. So I gave her water and blah, 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 and so I got my remote control out and she's holding onto the handle. I'm sitting down in the seat next to her, steering with the trolling motor thing. And we're talking all the way back. And she's like, I'm so glad. I am so glad you were here. I said, well, let me ask you a dumb question. Since we're the only two people on the lake now, what would you have done if I wasn't there or if I didn't see you and went somewhere else? She goes, well, I suppose I would paddleboard to shore and then get out and walk back to the ramp. And I said, yeah, you'd have been out till 8 o'clock tonight doing it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So the reality of it is that she was out there with no water, 85 degrees, bright sun for 4 hours fighting against, I don't know how windy it was, but it was pretty windy. fighting that for 4 hours. She was probably 1 second from heat stroke if
Oh,
she didn't have mild heat stroke already, and totally exhausted. She couldn't even hardly pick her oar up to hand it to me. That's how brutal. That 4 hours trying to get back, man.
jeez.
Yeah. So anyhow, so I got her back and everything, but
Good job,
the
Frank.
the end of the day, I wound up with 30 plus largemouth and started out the first 2 hours with 0. And I just kept following that process. And every time I got a clue, I would just add the clue to the puzzle until the puzzle came together. And in all honesty, I had other places that I could have went and wrecked them. And well, clearly I didn't go because,
Yeah, then it was time to.
but it was God, it was crazy, man. I'll be honest with you guys. I didn't catch any giants. I didn't catch any 5-pounders or anything like that,
It was a solid day of fishing in Ohio.
Yeah, it was a solid day of fishing in Ohio.
Especially with a late start. Followed your system.
Yeah.
Caught them on some old baits, some new baits.
Yeah, it turned out to be a really fun day. And it didn't start out that way, but it turned into a really fun day.
Let me ask you this. Based on what you're saying, how deep was that? How deep was kind of that emergent coontail stuff that you found, that you put the minnow on, that you put the 24 on, that you put the jig on?
6 to 12.
Okay. Did you throw, and this will be a transition, did you throw a Nico at those fish at all?
No. So I don't want to say I got lazy, but there was a couple of baits that I wanted to throw that I didn't throw, only because at that point in time, I was catching them pretty good.
Gotcha.
And so I didn't do it. But to be honest with you, I screwed the pooch on that, because I should have went to 2 baits that I didn't, just because it would have been a really good learning experience for me.
I would venture to say, so I starred somewhat during your story. Urchin, koiki, urchin.
Yeah.
And then I think I went through, I gave up my goods on it. Like, as you're describing it, urchin and a Nico sounded like they would have been 2 really good options.
And those were the 2 baits that I was reluctant to put on. And I kept saying in my head, I better put the koiki out there. I better put the koiki out there. And and I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Between the jig, the money craw, and the jerk bait, I was just having a day. And I said, man alive, this is great. In fact, I had put everything away at that point. I had only those 3 rods out, and I was doing some damage. And so what are we
talking, like a 13, 14 pound bag by the end of the day, best 5?
I'm gonna say 14's a stretch.
Okay, so 2.5, 2 3/4 pounders. That's solid day where you're like, man, I caught a lot of nice fish today.
That's exactly how it was.
I like those days.
Yeah,
I say that because Yum, they dropped all of their new ICAST releases.
I know, dude. I know. And here, I want to go through a couple of them. I a long time ago, probably 3 years ago, maybe more, I love the War Eagle jigging spoon. And I made colors in that. And I honestly didn't think they were going to see the light of day. And then I got a memo stating that they're going to come out with the War Eagle colors. And I'm like, sweet. I didn't know they were an ICAST release. I just thought they were going to come out with them. And so I have in my possession.
Are those all the new ICAST release colors?
On those jigging spoons, because
Can you show them without getting in trouble?
Yeah,
Okay.
they're available on LureNet. They're just not advertising them right now.
Okay.
So this color is called Rainbow Candy. Um, and I'm gonna actually take it out because they're super cool. If I can open this,
Okay. Yeah. Here they are right here.
so that's Rainbow Candy. I got to. You could see the.
Yeah, I'm showing it right here on the screen.
Yeah, but they're so good in real life, dude.
Okay.
And then here's this is one of my favorite ones that I did specifically for smallmouth and specifically for the Great Lakes, but it's a spotted bass beater. The spots beat this thing to death because of course I painted them all, and then I painted them all for me, and I have a whole spoon box in my boat that I probably should have just got that, because then I wouldn't have to open these crazy ass things. Smallmouth candy.
Ooh. Yeah. With a nice chartreuse gut bag.
Oh yeah, dude. And it's got little multicolored metal flake on it. It's got a semi gold hue to it.
Oops, hold on. Big screen. There you go.
This is money, dude. This is right here is absolute money.
I feel like you could use that in cloud cover in sun.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah. So for the next ones, I don't think I'm gonna go through the trouble of taking them out.
That's fine.
Because
there's the candy shad.
Yeah, so I'll get Candy Shad out now and show you. Candy Shiner. Oh no, Candy Shad. Yeah, let me get that one out and show you. But I'm so excited because I wanted these things out so many years ago. Oh yeah, okay, Candy Shad. All right, so go to me. Let's see if we can do this.
Yep.
This color here is special too, man. You see the purple and pearl on the shoulder blades?
Yep.
And you notice that they all have that Target
gut bag.
Yeah, that Target gut bag on them. They all have it. But yeah, so I'm really excited about these. I designed these colors so long ago. It was unbelievable. And then here's a smallmouth sleeper, guys.
You didn't have to pay for those. They actually sent you those, right, Frank?
Yeah, they sent them to
me. We're paying a step in the right direction.
Yeah, so this one is lemon lime. Look at this.
Yeah,
and you see, I made sure that when I painted these, I made sure that the chrome comes through the color.
Lemon lime candy.
Yeah, so see there, you don't see that in that picture, that the chrome doesn't, look solid, but you could see in here that the chrome comes through this. So you're going to have flash of color. It's not a solid color. And that's the whole key to this. It's not a solid color. The chrome on all of these spoons, the chrome comes through the bait. And that was the whole key to the paint job. And so anyway, I was really super excited about them. And so you got the jigging spoon, which we all know jigging spoons are vertical. So when you encounter those, and it's going to happen really soon. It's going to happen like right around mid-August, where all the bait fish are going to start to ball up in the middle of the lake, and all the way out in the middle of the lake on those drains that go back up into the creeks. They start balling up there. The first time I ever experienced it was on Kerr Reservoir. And back then, we only had Hopkins spoons back then. Mm-hmm. And so I did all this stuff with the Hopkins shorty, or the Hopkins, I think it was 75 shorty, which was a 3/4 ounce little short spoon. I put the swivel on them and all that stuff too, where the War Eagles, they come ready to go. They're ready to go. And so that's where I first learned of this technique, aside from Lake Erie smallmouth, because I always use spoons on smallmouth and Lake Erie. Aside from that, and so I've been very excited about this spoon release, and like I said, it's a surprise to me because I didn't know.
I got to disagree with you, Frank.
What?
I don't think it's a vertical presentation. I catch 90%. I've got a big box of the War Eagles, and I catch 90% of my fish
Horizontal.
long casts, burning them across the surface, and then
Okay.
killing it through the schools of bait fish, and then popping it back through and bringing them, especially with forward facing. Or it's, I mean, I've caught more like if there are schooling fish on the lake in Oklahoma, bluebacks, and anywhere, I will have that 7/8 ounce jigging spoon on a 7.4 medium heavy with 15-pound test,
Launch it.
and I can spool it basically. And I'll keep the rod tip up and get it across the surface like that, and then
Okay, but
kill
you
it, and then keep it going. Like,
right, but you said something important. Schoolers.
yes,
Yes. Agreed. Schooling fish are a different animal.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
And so anyhow, the point being, I 100% agree with you. The point being is
but
they
yeah,
have
traditionally.
they have a horizontal spoon, a flutter spoon now. War Eagle came out with a flutter spoon. That is trick. It's cool. It's got two little blades on the side of it that click and clack when the thing's fluttering.
Oh, it's available in a 4 and a 5-inch. Yeah, that's
money.
Badass too. Yeah.
That is money.
And that's the one more where you cast out, you get it down, you go doo doo, and then you let it fall, and then it's
Mhm.
like a jig bite, dunk, and then you just reel into it.
Yeah, the first place I ever got on them good on a flutter spoon was Douglas Lake in Tennessee.
Oh, I could totally see that because they like to get deep. They school out there. It's hard to get a bait down. Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. That was the first time I ever experienced
the
that
flutter
bite.
spoon. In my opinion, the best way to learn a flutter spoon is to get in the boat with someone who is on a flutter spoon bite.
Oh,
Because if you go out by yourself and you try to figure it and you haven't done it, it just doesn't. Didn't click in my head. And I got a buddy here in Shawnee. His name's the very first time I ever had seen it was James Watson there on Table Rock Lake. Remember when spoon jacking was real big 10 years ago? But like the cast, like where you're casting it, Tyler Dennis. And he's like, hey, I got a lake here. He's like, I'm crushing him on a flutter spoon. And I was like, I'm in. And we went out, and I remember it is some of the coolest bites you could ever have, because you get that thing down, your line stops going, and you're just like, and then you let it fall slick, and then you're like, and sometimes it's just like that, and then other times you get it up, and as that thing's falling, it is like the hardest jig bite you've ever felt in your life. Just dong, and you just you're like, I got him.
So because you made a really good point. Go out with somebody that knows how to do it.
You have to, because it's such a unique bait.
Yeah. So the first time I did it, I'm like, I'm throwing it on braid, because then I'll have no line stretch and I'll whack them.
Oh, that had to be a nightmare,
dude. Oh my God.
You just probably had braid wadded up into the spoon hooks.
Always, dude. Every time. And I was like, what is going on? And so then I just put it on 17.
Yes, 17 or 20. You want a stiff line on it to keep it from wrapping around.
But it took me a minute to figure it out by myself. After about the fifth time I got enough braided line around the treble hook that it looked like a fish net, I'm like, this doesn't work.
No, that's gonna be a cool bait. It has a lot of flat. I like those little deals out to the side too.
Yeah, so that's really cool. So so Matt, you knew exactly when I said braid.
That doesn't. Spoons and braid don't mix.
It's
if you're going to, you might even do what you do for a Carolina rig, which is you could even add like a 20-pound test leader of just, even if it's just 12 inches,
just to keep it from.
Yeah, because you want that stiffness, because that spoon's going like that. Right. You want the line to stay away from it otherwise. And you get to the point where you feel it. Even on those little War Eagles, you'll be jerking it, and then you'll jerk and you'll think you have one, but then you'll feel it go woo 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 on the way up. And yeah.
I know. It's so cool though. It's so cool. The flutter spoon bite was it was so much fun. I mean, it was so much fun. And you know what I liked about it is when you pull it, you could feel like a woof, 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 woof. and then you let it go down, and you could feel it.
But you keep that thing on the. You let it go to the bottom, hit the bottom, and then pop it up. If you go back to some of our earlier shows, Frank did a whole thing on gizzard shad, on how gizzard shad feed. They feed on the bottom. That's a 10-inch worm where you see like the worm. You're like, well, what are they eating down there? It's a 10-inch worm. It's the tail of that gizzard shad that's doing it. They eat them. I mean, a lot of times on that flutter spoon too, they will literally just suck it off of the bottom right before you're about to pop it again.
Which is so cool then, because then when you go to pull it, it's like.
I often have a tough time visualizing how fish are striking a bait, unless it's more of an ambush thing. But for some reason, once I've gotten familiar, and I'm not saying I'm good with the flutter spoon, but it's I have them. It's in my arsenal. I'm comfortable with it all the time. I can literally picture, you pop it up and you can picture that big bass down there going, oh, he notices it, and then that thing, and you can literally picture him going down and then rolling on his side and just going.
Yep,
I can visually, mentally picture that bite.
It's such a cool bite. It's such a cool bite. I mean, it really is a cool bite. And all this stuff is about to get ripe.
And I'll tell you the other thing, and you see some other spoons that have it too. This spoon has the ability, and this is not how it's intended, obviously, but you can add a treble hook to those side split rings as well.
Yeah, if you need it to.
And really increase your hookup ratio.
Yeah, if you really needed to. I oversized the back hook a lot on it.
But no, I saw that and I thought that was cool, especially with that kind of oil pattern.
Yeah, I know. I love it, dude. I can't wait to get them. I can't wait to get them. I'm so excited because my flutter spoon box literally is one color, and I've got 10 of them, and I want to advance, but I'm not happy with a lot of the other colors that were on the market.
Yeah, shattered glass looks cash money.
Yeah, dude. Can you imagine that? But yeah, so
I can. That's what we just talked about.
Yeah, exactly. And so yeah, and then the other stuff is really kind of cool too. They got for the guys that do the bait casting, ultralight finesse fishing stuff.
Keep talking because I'm gonna go get that box because I'm all in on this one.
All right, so for the I think it's called BFS, the ultralight. So Bandit came out with a 50 and a 50D Bandit for the guys that like to throw the light line and the bait casting stuff. Really good, ultralight crankbait opportunities there, and they cast really well. So that's pretty cool. Matt's going to get his stuff and then come back, but Bobby Garland's for the crappie guys. Bobby Garland's got some really nice jig heads with screw locks and hooks on them now for the Bobby Garland baits to stay on. When you're on the crappie hot and heavy, how when they and you get them and the bait rolls off, I can't stand that. So they got that going. They got a new paddle tail, bigger size paddle tail crappie minnow, which I can't wait to get my hands on those. And then they got a new worm in Yum that Matt's gonna love with the Nico rig. I like it actually. I'm gonna like it for the flick shake. Much better, but we'll show Matt will show you that. So let me see, Matt. You got me.
You're talking about these, right?
Yes.
They're 1 3/4, 3/16, the BDT 050D. But it's like the way I said it, it's like basically like a mini Bandit 200.
That's exactly what it is.
Okay. Have we talked about my obsession with micro cranks yet?
No. You better have a Norman deep tiny end in there.
Oh, come on, dude. You gotta give me a little bit of credit.
Rick Clunn made that bait famous.
Yeah.
Except he put a number 4 on the belly. I don't even know how the bait moved.
And then this is my pride and joy. Then he came out with the 0.5 DD.
Oh yeah, dude.
That's a little. I mean, that one is game over. But look at. I top 10 and open on these baits. These are all micro crankbaits. These are all 0.5 size or smaller. And in the summertime on riprap, I throw it on 12-pound test. They're just little itty bitty 0.5s. Like I've got the little bitty Normans.
Yeah, dude. That bait there was so underrated.
I've got a bunch of them. The little tiny ones.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, these are like very tiny little baits.
Yeah,
And
so
they absolutely catch. There's a couple different types like Molix or Evergreen came out with one that's like a little bitty bluegill.
yeah, I'm surprised you don't have any of the small big O's. That was a killer, dude.
The tiny big O's.
Yeah, the tiny one. It's one size smaller than the C77.
I don't have any of the tiny big O's. I have some 1.0s in here. Academy had an H2O Express and a 0.5. I mean, you can tell like these things are like fished, hardcore, new hooks on them. I've got dozens and dozens of them, but a lot of like especially like when you're going down like riprap and you're just trying to catch fish and see if they're there, like probably one of my favorite ones is that right there.
That's a little Norman. God, that's oh no, that's not a Norman.
Yeah, it's a Norman.
Yeah, it is a Norman.
Just I mean, I've got tons of them and all sorts of different like that little bumblebee pattern.
Yeah, that bumblebee pattern was on fire, and the guys back in the day were catching a lot of Lake Erie smallmouth on that color.
Yeah, like little hand painted. Like that's a little
balsa bait.
Yeah, little.
Is that cedar or balsa?
That's a little cliff pace. Some 1.0s. Anyway, this thing I've had in the boat at all times for the past 10 years. And I'll tell you, it has absolutely gotten me out of some jams.
Oh yeah, dude, for sure. I'm glad to see that Bandit came out with a couple of them.
That's what I'm saying. So the Bandit 200 is one of my favorite smaller crankbait designs.
Same here.
And then when I saw that they were coming out with that, I was super pumped.
And they got a deep version too, Matt.
Yeah, this is the deep version.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's so, man.
But I know it's bait finesse, but I throw it on 10-pound or 12-pound Sunline Crank FC 7-foot medium action crankbait rod, and your smoothest, just a smaller spool, not like a big cranking reel, but like what I throw jerk bait on.
Right.
You would be shocked at how far and how well you can cast it. Just upgrade the hooks. Just take the hooks, upgrade them a little bit, and you will get bit on that 3 to 6 foot rock.
Yeah, dude, you're 100% right. Cause I throw mine on 10 and 12 as well. And then that's what is that my crayfish pattern? It looks like it.
What's the name of your crayfish pattern?
Who knows?
There's Dosa craw, sugarloaf craw, diamond craw.
Nice. That's a good looking color right there.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah. But I've got some craw ones, but I really like like the bait fish, but I'm a big fan in that little one of like stuff like that. Like a little bit of good color on it.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, I was excited to see that. Like I would that's like I love doing the little micro cranks.
Yeah.
And you catch big fish on them too.
Oh, you do. Oh, you absolutely do. It's really cool. So what do you think about, no kidding. The Big O and Smoky Joe is just disgusting. Yep. Yeah. So what do you think about the worm?
I like it, dude. Like, dude, right? You know that I am a Nico nut.
That's what I said when you got up and left. I said Matt's gonna like that for the Nico.
I'll show it to you. I've got it pulled up, but you can see. We'll get past it. I want to show it on the bottom. Like that's just.
Isn't that special?
Dude, that combines, in my opinion, that combines a Carolina, the Nico, especially when you're fishing it on the bottom. It combines a jig, a Carolina rig, and a Texas rig.
Yeah,
If you think about it.
Yeah, I just can't wait to get my grubby hands on that thing. It just, look at that. It just does its thing, man. I wish I had them the other day.
And it looks right too, because if you look at it, it's got, where your O-ring goes, a little bit fatter head where you can put your Nico weight in.
Yep.
Did I not a couple weeks ago literally like go through my entire Nico setup?
Oh yeah, dude.
Okay, that's the exact same thing you do with this worm.
That is so spot on. I like the place for the band because a lot of times the band cuts the worm in half.
Yep.
And so because it's recessed, the band doesn't squish the plastisol. You know what I mean? It's just the band. And that is so good. I can't wait to get them. I'm freaking out.
There's a bunch. They got Elder's Magic in it.
Yeah, Elders is a good color. Elders is a sleeper color. Actually.
That now I would say 95% of the time, I'm tipping that tail chartreuse.
Yeah, I do.
Like without a doubt, I'm tipping that tail chartreuse.
Yeah,
and I'm sticking with like a natural color. I'm gonna have a green pumpkin. I'm gonna have like a cinnamon color. I'm gonna have like like a brown cut. Like I just keep it to like the natural colors like that.
Yeah, I agree. I 100% agree. The green pumpkin, I like green pumpkin with blue flake, green pumpkin with purple flake, straight green pumpkin. Elder's Magic is a really good sleeper color, especially for smallmouth for some reason.
Yeah. And you can do the tungsten. We've been through all that. I talked about all that, but I mean, now, especially with the price of it, go to the hardware store and get the nails,
brads
that are thick, but that are soft,
that
you can literally just take and cut.
Yeah. I think they're called brads where they got little ridges on them. Circular ridges, not horizontal ridges.
Yeah, but they've got it, but it's got to be the softer. Like you can get those nails that you can't cut with pliers.
Oh yeah, no.
You want the ones that are the softer nails, like where if you take them, you can kind of bend them and stuff.
Yeah, very true. Or lead.
Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah, lead.
Or lead.
But no, very cool. Some crappie stuff, some Hellgramites. I think there's even some more drops that are coming.
Yeah,
at ICAST that haven't been out yet. A lot of guys asking Frank, what have you tried the urchin? What are your thoughts on it? Is that something that you're still in the early stages of?
To be very honest with you, I am just experimenting right now. I had an opportunity twice this summer and I didn't take advantage of it. And I'm so upset with myself because of it, because I'm a learning guy and I want to know everything. And I missed my opportunity. To be honest with you, I missed my opportunity the other day because they were clearly
another bait like a spoon where it helps to be in the boat with. I like the G-Crack Nico hacks. Here's my only deal on that. The way you are supposed to put that hook in, I like a band, a 5 mil band over it, because when you put your hook in it, and I went through this in the last show, it prevents your hook from rolling to the side. And the Nico hack keeps it on. It's a fantastic, it works. But I have found more that hook rolls and has a tendency then when you reel into the fish, you'll hook them, they'll make one run, it'll pull back, and that hook point will be buried into the worm, especially if you're throwing a 5, 6, 7-inch worm.
Yeah.
That band keeps that hook up and out, and it still happens occasionally because the tail of the worm will come back and hook it, but it prevents the hook from having any side to side motion to where then it hooks into the worm as you reel into the fish. It keeps it literally stuck right there.
Yeah, it almost keeps the worm behind the hook.
I'm not saying it's a bad deal. I've got them. I'll use them in a pinch too, but I like a 5 mil band, not the like this will work perfect with this, not the O-ring bands, because the O-ring bands don't have enough width in them to keep that hook tight. Like I use a band that's like the 5 mil on a normal size. It seems a tad small, like it pinches it a little bit, like right perfect, like where that is on that one. But the band still wants that hook will roll over. The band that's like a 1/4 inch clear wide, you use that tool to where it's a reverse pliers.
Right. You open it up and
it literally locks that hook up in. And as you have it, when you're pulling it, you always want the hook point pulling towards you. So then the bait falls, and then you pull, and the bait falls, and that hook, the worm's like this, and the hooks. It should be a 95% hook to land ratio. And once out of 20 times you reel it in, and the worm will, the tail of the worm, the way they grabbed it, will get that hook point. But, especially like with plastics like the gadget worm and things like that, you should also be able to reel through that plastic. But I think it goes from like 80% to 95% with that setup. And I mean, there are guys who do it a billion different types of ways. I'm not saying there's a right or wrong, but for me, that's what I have confidence in. I've done it for the last 5-6 years.
Yeah, I'm using a Gamakatsu B10S hook in there.
Yep.
It's such a good hook. B10S.
Yeah, that's a good hook.
Did you find it?
Yeah, that's a really good hook.
Yep.
That's a really good Nico hook. Like a 1/0.
Yep. I do 1/0s and 2s.
Yep, 1/0s and 2s.
And it pins the fish. I mean, it pins them. It's so, man.
But
I gotta.
But like with the band right there, can you see my deal?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The band, then like your worm, like this is going to be the head of your worm here. This is going to be the tail of your worm. This is about, right there. And you basically have that band, and you can put it right there, and it never moves. It never rolls.
Yeah. I started, believe it or not, I started tricking up my, Nico game because of you, Matt. Because it's something that I
freaking fish catcher, dude. You can suspend it, you can drop it down, you can fish it in grass, you can fish it in rock, you can flip it around docks, it is the most versatile. I mean, that's what I caught him on. That exact setup is what I caught him on the river on day 2.
I mean, and you showed me a cool weedless one, and I leaned on that a lot because I like what it did. So it's it's adding a little bit of terminal to my terminal tackle, but it's not much. I mean, in all honesty, it takes up, that much space in your terminal box.
Yeah, I've tried the decoys, I've tried all of them, but I like that. You want something with a little bit wider gap. But I don't like the real wide. I like a longer shank on it, is what I'm saying. And I don't know why that helps with the hookup ratio, but a longer shank more so than, they make the round ones that are octopus style.
Yeah. Nah.
The big, to me, I don't know why. I just am not a huge, I feel like the hookup ratio on this kind of style right here it's
much
a lot better.
I 100% agree with you. 100%.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's wild, man. We talk about a lot of stuff on this show, and everything we talk about has to do with fishing. Most of the time, a couple of times we did some trailer maintenance stuff, but most of what we talk about is fishing, how to catch them, problems you encounter, how to make those problems disappear and be more successful. Something that we never talk about is problems when you're trailering your boat. And they're problems that can't really be monitored until it's too late. Like, I've lost trailer tires before. I was coming home from Kentucky Lake, and I had one of my bass boat trailer tires pass me up on the freeway like I was standing still. It came off the trailer and rocketed past me, which wasn't the most horrifying thing about it. My boat going like this on the freeway wasn't the most horrifying thing about it. The most horrifying thing about it was it jumped the median and went into oncoming traffic.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought I was going to cause a car accident. And thank God it didn't hit a car. It didn't cause a car accident, and it went off the other side of the freeway, and got off the road. That was the most horrifying thing to me. And so after that happened to me, I got very paranoid about it. So every time, when I'm traveling, I, drive an hour or two, pull off, check everything, and do all that stuff. And unfortunately, that's a guess. You're only guessing. So this company called Trailer Watchdog, I got in touch with this guy through a friend of mine, through Trailer Rick actually. Got in touch with him. Matt and I talked to Alex a few times, and he said, "Hey, I got this trailer monitoring system that I've been doing for flatbeds and mostly work trailers and some saltwater boat stuff." And I said, "Well, yeah." I said, "Well, I mean, what could it possibly monitor? You know what I mean?" And then he's like, "Well, I could do your axle temperatures, tire temperatures, air pressure, blah blah blah." And I'm like, "Axle? Like where my bearings are?" He goes, "Oh yeah."
This is when we have this meeting 4 or 5 months ago.
Yeah, probably 4 or
Yeah.
5 months ago. So I said, "Dude, send me one of them. I'm gonna put it on my boat." I said, "How hard are they to install?" And he said, "Not hard at all. All you got to do is with the brain part of the unit, you just hook the one wire up to your running lights and the other wire up to your power." I'm like, "That's it?" He goes, "Yeah, that's it." I said, "But I don't want to cut my trailer wires." I said, "Can I take a pigtail, a 2-prong pigtail, and put it in the straight bar on the top of my plug and then use my round plug for the thing?" He says, "Oh yeah, absolutely." So I did. I hooked it up. It took me no time. I went to the lake. I dropped the boat in the water because it's easier to work on a trailer with no boat on it. So I did that. I hooked it all up. And here was my very, 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 very first experience with the axle temperatures. So I hook it up. I put the app on my phone, turn my running lights on. Well, trailer's on my phone. I'm parked in the parking lot. 2 of my axles on the left side are in the sun. 2 of the other 2 axles are on the right in the shade. There was a 2-degree difference in axle temperature between the ones in the sun and the ones on the shade, which I thought was insanely impressive. I backed the trailer in the water to get my boat and put it on the trailer. And of course, I'm like glued to my monitor now. I back it in the water. The trailer temperatures in the parking lot were 94 degrees, 94 on one side, 96 on the other. As soon as I backed it in the water, they went down to 72 degrees because that's what the water temperature was. And I'm like, holy shit, this is sensitive, man. This is like really, really sensitive. So that was my very first. I just turned it on. Okay. So then I said, I got to put a lot of miles on the trailer. And so every time I hooked up the boat and went somewhere, on it's put it in front of me. I see the thing. It monitors every single thing. So I'm like, what do you care what your tire temperature is? I'm more concerned about my axle temperatures. Then it dawned on me. If all your tire temperatures are at a degree, here, pull that picture up, Matt. Can you pull that up?
Your actual boat?
Yeah, my actual one.
There it is. That's yours.
Okay. So this is my actual one. So you could see that all my tire temperatures are within a degree of each other. My tire pressures are within a degree of each other. And then my axle temperatures are in green. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all within a degree of each other. So here's the thing about the tire temperature that I didn't quite see until I talked to Alex over there. So let's just say all my tire temperatures are in the 73 to 74 degree range. And then I got one tire that's 95 or 100. I'm like, what does that mean? That means one of my tires is out of alignment or one of my axles is bent. And the tire's oscillating on the road and it's creating more heat. So that tells you there's an issue right there with balancing or a bent axle before any damage happens to you. The axle temperatures are obvious because they should all be within several degrees of each other. So if you got one axle that's running 30 degrees hotter than the other three, you got bearing problems developing. And so you could address that before the tire falls off, before you blow through a fender of your trailer, before something bad happens. You could address that. And so as I was using this, and I've got close to 1,000 hours on it now.
Miles.
I mean, miles.
Yeah, you ain't on tour anymore, Frank.
That's right. That's right. Thanks, Matt. I got like 1,000 miles.
Because I know this true because you called me after the first trip. Then you called me after the second trip.
Yeah.
Then you made a couple road trips because if we were going to talk about this on the show, I said, I do not want to talk about this on the show or offer it until you have put this thing through the ringer.
Yeah. And so it is absolutely amazing. It will. So like if you pick up a nail and you see one of your tires is losing air very slowly, super slowly. But as you're traveling, you notice it goes from 64 PSI, and then you're trailing and it's 62 PSI, and 25 minutes goes by and it's at 58 PSI. Your alarm goes off, and you know that you got to check that tire before you blow it out and create more problems for yourself. The tire pressure is the easy thing to monitor. It's the temperature of the axles and the temperatures of your tire that's important. And so I started using this thing, and now I'll be honest with you, I cannot have that picture, that image up when I'm trailering. I have to have it up there. And it is such a peace of mind.
And it just connects Bluetooth to your phone.
Yeah,
on the app.
Yeah, and he's got another thing now where he's got a little monitor. You don't even have to use your phone anymore. You could just put the little monitor in your vehicle and it hooks directly up to that through your USB port in your truck.
Trailer Watchdog. So what did we end up deciding here? We bringing them on potentially with some opportunities for. I know we've got a lot of guys who tow brand new bass boats all the way to 35-year-old boats that they've had for the last 3 decades.
Oh yeah, we're bringing this on because this would have saved me a lot of aggravation, especially when I was traveling a lot.
Me too. Now here's my question, Frank.
Go ahead.
Because we've had this is full disclosure. We've had the one meeting.
Yeah.
This is kind of, I know how, is this the right word? How anal you are when it comes to trailering and making sure everything is perfect.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, you and Alex could work on this. Let me know if it works, because I'm so dumb when it comes to this stuff. I wouldn't know like what right questions to ask and all that. So you've been working with him on it. You did the pigtails, you did all that stuff. And but I also want one on my boat. I get the new one here in a couple weeks, the new cat and stuff. Like, is this something that I can install by myself? You know me, Frank. Is this something that I can install by myself?
Yeah. Yes. It's
okay. That's all I needed to know.
Essentially, it's all plug and play. And here, I'll do a real quick little diagram here.
Okay.
Of course, I don't have paper. I'll do a real quick.
I'll show some more of like
here.
kind of some of the things. There's 2 different series. You can choose your system. So which system do I choose right here? The TWD 1500 or the commercial, not the commercial and fleet.
No, that the what you just said.
Okay.
The TW.
There it is. It comes with all of the stuff. It shows you all of that. And then literally install instructions right here.
Yeah, so the install instructions, to be honest with you, seem more complicated than this thing really was to do.
And it works on aluminum.
Everything.
Will it work on aluminum trailers, or is it magnetic only?
Yeah, no, it'll work on aluminum, but with aluminum, you can't use the magnet. You except that on aluminum trailers, the axles are metal, so you probably can.
Okay.
Okay, so for all practical purposes, and this is a really shitty drawing, but this is the back of your trailer plug in your truck. You got a straight 4 on top, and you got the round on the bottom.
Yep.
So I got a 2-prong pigtail that clips into this and this.
Yep.
These first two, one's power, one's running, or one's ground, one's running light. Okay, your running light. And so at the end of the brain part of the unit, you'll have a wire, and it'll have it's a pigtail. At the end of the brain part of the unit, you'll have a wire, and then it'll have one section off here.
That's
and
it
one
right
section
there.
off here. Where are you? Yes. So you'll have that. And so I just took the 2-prong pigtail and I spliced it into here.
And will it come with the 2-prong pigtail like that?
No, I bought it at
the
hardware store for $3.
Okay.
And then what I do is then I don't have to cut my trailer wires.
Gotcha.
Because I didn't want to cut my trailer wires. And so he has clamps and connectors and stuff if you want to put them directly into your trailer. It's all there. So however you want to do it. I just didn't want to do it that way.
Can we do some videos of how you did it?
Yeah. So what I'm going to do the next time I launch my boat is I'm going to go around and I'm going to take pictures of everything. And then we'll have Alex come on and we'll talk about everything and how I did it, because I'm very anal about my trailers. So we'll do it. But I will be honest with you guys. I literally cannot believe that this was not out before. I cannot believe that.
All in one with the axles and you could do the tire sensors and stuff like that, but kind of all in one design perfectly for the bass boat, because the tire stuff, you have like little valve stems that you put in, and that's what monitors the tire pressures
and temperatures. But I just couldn't believe it. And then when I was really skeptical, honestly, when I first did it.
Well, that's why we met with him 5 months ago and didn't say anything.
Right. I was really skeptical. And then when I started using it, I couldn't believe the information it was giving me. And you have to understand something. It's giving you all the information you need to detect problems. And it alarms you and alerts you when something is not what it should be. So here's what I
have. Yeah. So tell me what happens if, like, let's say something gets out of whack.
So it'll give you an alarm on your phone. It'll give you an alarm and it'll start flashing in red the part that's giving you the problem. So whatever section is giving you the problem, it starts flashing in red and an alarm goes off. And you could set it on your phone to do whatever you want it to do. I have mine to flash red, and it beeps. And so you could do it. You could set it up however you want. The other thing you can do is, like, my trailer tires are 60-pound trailer tires. They need 60 pounds of cold air. And it works. It'll work from single axle, double axle, triple axle, and blah, blah, blah. But anyway, so what it is, so I set my tire pressure alarm.
Mm-hmm.
Over a certain number, under a certain number, because we live here where it's cold. So in the wintertime, our pressures go down. In the summertime, our pressures go way up. When a tire recommends you filling it up at a certain level, cold, you have to do it cold, because as you travel and the tire gets hot, the air inside of it expands, increasing your tire pressure. You follow me?
Yep.
So if you fill it up hot, then you got a lot of air in there. And so when it expands, it might exceed the tire's air pressure safety regions.
Yep.
So all this stuff, it tells you everything. You just have to be smart about what you're looking at. And the most important things to me are your tire temperature and your axle temperature. We know PSI is important in tires, but the temperature is what's going to tell you stuff's about to go very bad. And so if you pay attention to those, you literally, aside from hitting a board with nails on it at 70 miles an hour, it's going to tell you everything way before it goes wrong.
Yeah.
And for anybody that travels with their boats or puts on, more than 50 miles.
I'm also thinking anybody that travels through anything that has congestion, single lane roads, air, like even if you're not traveling far,
right?
But like, let's say, like I remember that dude whose axle actually like froze in Chicago going through it. Like on the 6th, man. It was a nightmare. That's where for me, it makes sense, but 99.9% of people who listen to this don't travel the country fish in the opens.
Well, but
they might have to go through Cleveland or Louisville or St. Louis in order to get it. And you're like, okay, this gives me something to say, hey, something's out of whack that I can fix so you don't end up like that.
Here, Matt, honestly, I don't fish tournaments anymore. Mm-hmm. Okay, I don't fish tournaments anymore. My average drive to a lake is 1 hour one way. So I'm driving 2 hours a day. That's my average. Some are more. So I fish some lakes that are 2.5 hours away. But for the most part, my average is 2 hours a day that I fish.
You drive.
That I drive.
Yeah.
And so if you think about it, if I fish twice a week, that's 4 hours average, right?
The thing I like about it at the bottom too, after all the how to install it, is also, hey, take these instructions to anybody that deals with like trailers or maintenance or anything, hand it to them, and it's less than an hour job, and they'll do it for you.
Yeah, well, 100%, Matt. Scott at the Bass Tank could hook that up in 20 minutes.
Yeah,
and it'll be flawless. It'll be absolutely flawless.
Yeah, they start around 400, or it is 400. Here's what we're gonna do, though. I know we're gonna work out a deal, or we have worked out a deal with Alex. I think it's all built, made, like everything's out of the United States.
Yeah, I believe so.
Talk directly with him who does it. There's going to be a discount available code for BTL listeners. We're not going to take a normal day 4, like where we would talk about baits and all that. We're going to add an additional day 4, bring Alex in for the next 6 months throughout the year as you guys are fishing and getting ready, go through some installation, some actual pictures, some live stuff on Frank's boat, bring Alex in to talk about it, talk about the whole 9 yards. It seemed like a natural fit for the day 4 listeners. Alex, who owns the company, makes all of this. He wanted to get his product out to an audience, to the right audience.
Right. Because
day 4 is the right audience, just based on who we've talked to, who we've met, who we've interacted with. Like I said, new boats, aluminum boats, old boats, long tows, short tows. But for the most part, guys who like to take care of the equipment, have their stuff done right, and have peace of mind, just like you do, Frank.
Yeah, I would have never. Honestly, this had to work, because I would have never brought it up. And I feel as though it's such a necessity, because here, let's be honest, guys. You're spending how much money on a boat, and then you're leaving trailering down the road for happen chance? Mm-hmm. I don't think so. You know what I'm saying? I don't think so. Um, it, it's it's just something that I it's one of those products that comes out where you're like, why did nobody do this before?
Combine all of the stuff.
Right. It's a complete system.
Yeah, there's a single axle 2-wheel, a double axle 4-wheel.
Right.
And
And
if you're
so
taking a triple axle 6-wheel, you're probably just waking out the fishermen. So we're mainly worried
yeah,
about the single axle and the double axles, right?
right. If you're using a triple, you're a wake boater and you don't need a monitoring system.
Yep, and you can 100% put it on your camper. That's actually,
Yes.
Pete, I believe, like I said, I've only had one meeting with him. You talk to him on a
Yeah.
regular basis now, but that's kind of what it was designed for, was trucks, campers, that
Yes.
type of stuff
Yeah, it
for
was.
those people. And then it was like, oh, this is ideal for bass fishermen with their bass
Absolutely.
boats.
Yeah, and I like I said, we travel, we take trailering for granted.
And it doesn't matter how old your trailer is.
Doesn't matter.
Okay, so here's my next question then. I know there's some folks out there with probably some wonky trailers that don't realize it. If you put this thing on and you get it all balanced, will it immediately tell you, hey, you're towing with an axle that's bent, you're towing with stuff that's not in line, and then you know you could get it in line?
Oh yeah, dude, this thing don't lie. I let air out of my tire on purpose. When I got everything hooked up and everything connected, I'm like, how accurate is this?
Yep.
And I'm
You
watching my
for years on racer tires.
Yeah, and I'm watching my phone, and then boop 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 boop. Oh, okay, cool.
And the app's easy.
Oh, dude, and the little monitor that he has, you don't even have to worry about that.
Mm-hmm.
It's all built into the monitor. I'm gonna get a monitor because it's easier for me to just have it on one of those cell phone holders, and then I don't have to keep looking at my phone. Of course, you don't have to look at it if your alarm goes off.
Yep. Frank, do you feel like you have enough miles on it to evaluate durability, waterproofing, and magnet retention?
100%.
You have over 1,000 miles on it, right?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, 100%. And here, look, I've had this trailer underwater, and what I did when I first put it on is I backed the trailer down the ramp and left it there because I'm like, I'm going to leave it. I'm going to just leave it.
Meanwhile, 7 other bass anglers are like, that damn
No.
I'm monitoring my trailer tires. Hang tight, guys. I'll be out in an hour.
Yeah, no, I went to a small, tiny park lake where I got permission to get the boat off the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
And I did it there. And it's money, guys. Like I'm not kidding.
Like I said, this has been 5 months in the making.
Yeah, it has been.
And there's been some tweaks and there's been some change. It's not a multi-billion-dollar company that's looking for a money grab here.
No.
Like literally when I met with him, I got off the phone with Frank and I said, okay, this is a dude who's trying to get his product into the right hands right now.
That's correct. And it's quality. Everything is 100% waterproof. I've not had a lick of problems with it.
Salty roads?
Only what I've experienced when I put it on early spring. I haven't trailered it through the winter yet.
Okay.
But
what about bumpy dirt roads?
Oh yeah, God, yeah. Oh gosh, yeah.
Once it's installed, how much maintenance have you had to do on it?
Zero. Now, I'm going to tell you, I went to the pigtail because I didn't want to go into my trailer tires. I did the pigtail, and I called Alex and said, hey, if I put this in my straight 4 plug up on top, will it work? And he's like, absolutely, but you got to use the first 2 plugs.
And that's something that we need to do a video of with you where you have the pictures and all that stuff with it. We're offering it. We're not going to push it down everybody's throat, but it makes sense.
No, this is a safety feature on a trailer that I think personally, no bass boat trailer in the world should ever be made without it.
Yeah, I agree on that.
That's what I think. I think if honestly, that's where I think it's probably going to wind up going is it's going to become an option on
Mhm.
every bass boat trailer.
And the thing that I think is interesting is, you can get the little things that screw on that have an app that can tell you what your trailer type, but it's everything combined all in one that I
So
find
important.
is important.
Agreed. It's so
One more
important.
question. Are the little, someone said something about like sometimes the little sensor knobs have had the heavy sensor knobs, other ones can bend your valve stems and break them. Are they like light?
Yeah, no, these
Okay.
things, I haven't had an issue. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not, I don't want to alert the law enforcement, but I'm not a speed limit guy. And when I'm on the freeway, I'm driving, I'm motoring. And this is such a relief to me because I don't have to worry anymore. I
Is
don't
there a
have
cost for the app? Like, do you have to do a monthly fee for the app, or the app is free included with it?
It's included. Everything's included, and then if you get the monitor, to my knowledge, the monitor has everything on it. You don't even have to worry about it.
Axle temperature plus TPMS. I have no idea what that stands for. Trailer. In one
Yes.
system, Bluetooth 5 mesh listening network. Sensors are rated for up to 250 psi. No drill magnetic axle sensors. IP67 waterproof. Real-time smartphone alerts. Intelligent trend analysis. And made in America. Designed, engineered, and assembled in Maryland. And
Yeah. So I'm going to tell you guys something. I did not drill one hole in my trailer.
Okay.
If I had an aluminum trailer, I would have screwed it in the trailer.
$395 for the single axle right now, $495 for the double axle, so you're under $500. And like you said, we're working on some BTL code discounts as well for the future.
So let me ask you a question. So the unit costs $495. Let's just say 500. Okay? For a tandem axle, 500. If you lose a tire, you got about $2,000 worth of trailer damage as soon as that tire comes off. All right? So would you rather know that there's an issue and you could address it before it becomes a $2,000 expense? Or would you rather take your chances and see what happens? Most people, lucky, knock on wood, to them, won't lose a trailer tire. Maybe worst case scenario, they get a blowout and bend a rim. But I've been on the other side of that.
Is there a tether on the sensors in case one of the magnets lets go?
Yeah.
There is. Okay.
Yeah, because you're zip tying it all in. It's all connected.
Gotcha.
And I put the magnet right by my spindle on the back of the axle, not in the front of the axle, on the back.
Yeah, you're talking to the listeners now because I'm going to have mine installed.
Yeah, you should. I'm telling you right now, Scott at the tank could install that in 20 minutes.
Everyone is saying, why do our boats not come with this already?
Well, that's what I said. I was talking to Alex. I'm like, what the hell?
Alex is the owner, the founder, the inventor, the guy who runs the whole thing. You'll like him. He's super chill. When we had our meeting with him, we were like, oh, you'll be great on BTL. But like I said, we'll do additional BTL. It'll be a bonus BTL.
Yeah, it's going to be bonuses.
It's going to be a bonus BTL shows. It's not going to take away any of the day 4 content that you come to know and love.
No.
We may run an ad here or there, but that's how it is. This is free content for you guys every single week for the past 249 episodes.
Yeah, it'll be good. But I've not been excited about a non-fishing product since an onboard charger came out.
Yeah.
And
last thing I'll say, and then we can move on to the big announcement for 250 show. Is I've talked with Frank a lot off air about this, and
because we are friends,
you guys know how Frank is. We had the meeting. This is exactly how it went. I don't know. I like the concept of it. I thought this was a huge company, that this was like one of their aspects, but like we were actually talking to we kind of liked that guy. And he said, he goes, I need to get my hands on one.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I
And
said.
then you called and you said, well, I like it. I'm not thrilled with how you have to splice it in to get it plugged in, but I
Correct.
don't think he's thinking about the bass anglers and how our trailers are set up. It's more for the camper trailers now. So then you were like, I talked to him. He said this would work. Then you called back and you said you did it. Then you called and said, okay, I've got this thing installed. Then you called and you were like, holy cow, it's like super sensitive, but I've only taken it out once or twice.
Yeah,
Then I didn't hear anything for a month or two. And then I was like, how's that going? And you're like, dude, I'll never tow again without it.
never, never.
And then I said, okay, let's try to get a deal done. Let's work with something that makes sense for both
Yeah,
of us, so he can get his product out, so we can benefit from what we've grown here on BTL and day 4, and kind of put that ball in your court. And then you started continually testing. And then 2-3 weeks ago, you called and you're like, I got 1,000 miles on it. I've talked with Alex. It makes sense for him. It makes sense for us.
yeah,
Let's just do a short deal and see what happens and see what our viewers and listeners think of it. So
yeah.
there you go. That's exactly how it went behind the scenes. No holds barred.
No, that's 1000% exactly exactly how it went down. Like I said, I will.
This is the most bass fishing comment ever. Where's Alex from and what college team does he pull for?
You know what's funny? Speaking about college football, so Sunday I had to go to my wife's sister's retirement party, and to be honest with everybody, I had no desire to go. It has nothing to do with that I don't like her sister, because I love her sister. What it has to do with is I had no desire to go. Okay. I just didn't want to go. And so I went anyway. And there's a bunch of people there clearly that I don't know because it's not my crowd. They're all doctors and blah, blah, blah. So the theme was orange. You had to wear orange. Okay. So this is as close to orange as I own, because I'm not wearing my deer hunting stuff to a thing when it's 90 degrees out. So I went with the BTL, this color, the BTL thing,
Mm-hmm.
right? So there's a guy, he's my age. He's built pretty good. Not as tall as me. But
Where's this going?
I know. Just bear with me. Just bear with me. And he's wearing an orange shirt with University of Miami logo on it. I just think that's the only orange shirt the guy's got, and he's a Miami University fan. So we're talking, and we hit it off pretty good. And he's not really a fisherman at all, but he's very intrigued in BTL, the lure designing, the whole 9 yards. I'm talking to him for literally an hour, and I find out he is a defensive coach for Miami, the University of Miami. The U. So he brings up the technology that these athletes have now available to them to monitor heart rate, blood oxygen level. It even has a heat map of which muscles are getting overworked, and run the risk of, pulling a muscle or even a tear. And we wound up talking for well over 2 hours. The guy was absolutely fascinating. And he was a recruiter at one time. And I started laughing after I was done talking with him, because I'm like, geez, oh man, if he tried to recruit me, I would have been all in. He was so good at what he does. He is so good. And so it was a blessing in disguise. You just never know who you meet and when you meet them. I guess that's the whole roundabout waste of conversation that I just had with you guys.
Just not a fan of the U.
No, I know, but you brought up college football.
Yeah. No, I'm all about it. 1 year limited warranty, every product, covering defective materials and workmanship.
Yeah, I think this trailer thing, guys, for us bass boat people, You're not guessing anymore, and you're not driving on pins and needles. It makes so much sense.
Mm-hmm. It's like taking care of your transmission in your truck. It is not sexy. You do not want to spend that money on it, but when your transmission goes out, you really wish you had.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Boy, is that a true statement. I went through a couple transmissions in my day. Left me stranded on the road pulling a bass boat on the 480 bridge where we live. That's like major rush hour problems.
Yeah, no, I've done that with past trucks, and this is what I've been so on top of.
So let's talk about something for the 250th show, bud.
Okay.
We're going to give away money.
Well, we're not technically giving away money. We're giving away codes. It can be
cards.
Redeemed at lurenet.com.
Well, but here's the thing, dude. We're doing like $250 worth.
Yes, because that's $1 for every show.
Why not?
So we're going to do 5 $50 codes next week we're going to do 3 during the episode. We'll do 1 for the YouTube comments and 1 for an iTunes comment or an MP3 comment. But during the live next week, we're going to talk about we're going to do our favorite episodes over the past 250 episodes. So if you have a favorite, this is also new here. I got a new email. And it is info@basszone.com, I believe.
You got a new email?
Well, yeah, it's attached to where I can do it. So if you have a favorite episode or something that you would like us to revisit from the past, send it to matt@basszone.com and also info@basszone.com. With just, you can either put the link, the YouTube link or the iTunes link to the show for it. If it's a segment, if it's something that you remember, if it's a show you wish that we had done more on, anything over the past 250, it's all cataloged on the YouTube or on iTunes. Let us know. We'll revisit that. If there's a topic you'd like us to cover more, Frank, I want you to come up with some of your favorite things. I think Mark will be out of town there. We might get some of that. But during the show, we'll also just do kind of a longer Q&A just to chat with everybody here next week, and we'll promote it a little bit more. And then towards the end of the show, we'll do a randomizer, and 3 of those comments will be selected for a $50 LureNet gift card.
Perfect.
And then during this show, if you are listening now, so it is July 9th, 2026, put a comment below in this show talking about your favorite BTL moment, your favorite episode, so either something you learned, something you want to know more about, the funniest thing, anything. And then we will also select one of those comments prior to 8:30 a.m. Central Time on July 16th. And that person will win. And the same thing goes for the MP3 review.
Sounds good. I'm writing like a madman. You're going to tell me this again because I can't keep up with you.
Well, that's why I just stated it out loud.
I'm trying. I'm writing.
Someone in the list in the comments knows crankbait 918. He said that
he's local.
That 480 bridge is not a good place to be stranded.
No, it's not, dude. No, it is not. It's not.
I also would like to state that I've been doing a lot of work, and I now have full control over the Bass Talk Live Instagram.
Nice.
So that will now be live. Currently, Jeffrey's had it, so it's like a couple pictures of him bowling. The last thing he posted was a college bowling thing in 2022, and a thing from that was the last post that he had up on BTL.
Slapshot.
From Slapshot. But if you want to also send a message, bass_talk_live. And I'll put the details up on this too, because we now have a BTL Instagram. bass_talk_live. So give that a follow. I'll put together a deal on that. We're doing a lot of work here.
That's a lot, man.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Anything else, Frank? What hell? We're 2 hours in.
Holy smokes, dude! We took it large.
What is this 480? Jeff said, hell, anywhere on the 480 is bad to be stranded from. Where does the 480 run again?
It runs on just on the outskirts of downtown Cleveland, just south of downtown.
I also feel like, and don't take this the wrong way, but there's a lot of people traveling on the outskirts of Cleveland who probably aren't thrilled, like just with the weather and stuff that you have there too. So you're dealing with like angry people driving fast in bad traffic.
The 480 bridge goes across the Cuyahoga River Valley. So it's a giant bridge that goes over a huge valley.
Anytime you get on the outskirts of like a big city, like whenever we were down in Dallas, when I used to go visit Court when she lived down there, you start getting to the outside and the drivers get aggressive and angrier the closer you get to a giant metroplex. That's like out here in Shawnee, people waving you on, four-way stop. You go, no, you go, no, you go.
Yeah.
You get over there and it's like, I hope I run you off this road. And then like, and then like 20 minutes later, you're like, haha, made that guy miss his exit. And you're like, what is wrong with me?
Right. It's like merge is a personal challenge.
Yeah. You take personally offensive.
Exactly, dude.
Oh, dude, I saw, so before the 4th of July, because this is the first show we've had since the 4th of July. I saw a guy towing 2 jet skis in Oklahoma pulling into a roadside fireworks stand.
Oh, that did not end well.
And I was with my buddy Austin. We were on our way to the Thursday night or last Thursday. And I said, that guy is about to make some horrible life decisions.
Oh,
I said,
yeah,
there's a
dude.
50% chance that guy ends up in the ER. And he goes, why? And I said, because he's towing jet skis and he's going to buy roadside fireworks.
Right.
I said, not very strong in life decisions with that. And in that vehicle.
No, with 4 coolers in the bed of his truck. Yeah. Oh my gosh. That is so funny. Yeah, with a 100.
Yeah, you can just leave a comment, not in this, but under the show. Leave a comment in the YouTube comments, not the instant feedback, because I don't have it down here. It has to be in the YouTube comments, because we would like a retelling of Uncle Frank cutting down the Christmas tree on the golf course.
Oh no.
We have the show on the beaver dams, the Flick Shake show. Trust me, Clay. I paid for the Instagram.
Oh, we're gonna go down a slippery slope.
I paid for. That was just one of the small perks that accompanied the takeover.
Oh my god.
We need music badly.
We need music bad. We have to end this before we get ended.
All right, this has been another edition of Day 4 with the man Frank Scalish. Same time, same place next week. Show number 250. If you have any questions more about the Trailer Watchdog, Frank, what's the email they can email you about for it? Do you have one? Do you want to throw one of those in there?
Or
Frank, not?
Yeah. frank.scalish03@gmail.com or email alex@watchdogtrailer.
Alex@watchdogtrailer.com or frank.scalish
03@gmail.com.
Also, if you want to do a locker room session, I know you've been getting that. I was getting an email from some people who wanted to do locker room sessions with you.
Yeah, thanks, dude, for that one too, by the by. They've been fun. These guys are great. These our fans, a lot of them are super intelligent anglers, bud.
That's why they're listeners and viewers, not fans.
That's right.
Fans just listen. Listeners and viewers participate and are part of the...
My bad.
I fought that with Jeffries for decades.
My bad.
I'm like, there's a big difference. I said we interact.
We do.
Talk. But I mean, also, I'll take fans too.
Louder music, Matt. Hurry. We're running out.
Like, if someone is to go around golf courses in Cleveland, do you think the stump still exists?
No.
Okay.
And I hope the statute of limitations on that law is over.
Same time, same place next week. Show number 250. Big show. Great show today. Check out all the ICAST drops at lurenet.com. If you are going to buy some, don't forget to use the code BTL25 for 15% off regularly priced items. We'll talk to everybody next week. I am back out to do a little power washing.
Outstanding.
See ya.
Bye.